Over 80% of aspiring writers claim that they've experienced writer's block at some point in their career. And though I don't really believe in writer's block, I do know that with some stories, it can be challenging to move forward. And usually what causes these writer's blocks is either not understanding the story well enough or a lack of research. But other times what writers really need is some external motivation that can come from things like writing challenges. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, how you can benefit from participating in a writing challenge.
You have a story to tell, but you don't know where to start. Let me show you how to free your story. I teach you how to write and how to dig deep in your soul to release your story and make a difference in the world.
I'd like to welcome you to the Julia Method channel. If this is the first time meeting me, then welcome. I'm really happy to have you here. I speak about writing, I speak about researching, I speak about marketing, anything writing related that can help writers to move forward in their writing career. There have been several studies done on students from middle school to high school that show that if students participate in writing challenges, it can significantly improve the way that they write, their fluency, and even their confidence in writing. So their skills improved, their fluency improved, and they were able to move forward with less blocks and less angst. And so I figured if it can help students, right, it can help writers, because students a lot of times don't like to write and don't want to write, but writers do want to write. So if it can help them, it could definitely help us as writers to participate in writing challenges. So stick with me till the end and we'll talk about how you can participate in a writing challenge. First, let's talk about what writing challenges are. So we've seen them on social media, the little hashtag writing challenges, and that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is actually challenging yourself, not participating in some kind of group activity to finish something by a certain amount of time. Real challenges are goals that you set for yourself. They're strategic tools that help you stretch your imagination, strengthen your discipline, and help you to develop your voice. So for example, with my last novel, Christmas Without You, what I did is I gave myself a challenge, a goal, and that was to complete my novel within a certain amount of time, right? So I think I gave myself a month to write it. Now that doesn't mean that from the beginning of when I first started envisioning the novel to when I finished it, it was a month. No, I took probably about 3 months, honestly, to think about it, to outline it, to decide who the characters were, to really understand it. But once I started writing from start to finish, it was a month's time. And I had never done that before. That was a challenge for me. So it was a goal that I set for myself. It helped me to challenge myself, to stretch my creativity, to really focus on this story rather than just do a little bit at a time. I really focused on getting it finished. And one of the reasons that challenges work is that it's almost like a game. You challenge yourself to do certain things in order to win the game, right? In order to finish the novel, in order to complete your goal. They also work because writing is hard, right? It's not an easy thing that we sit down to do. There's a lot of components to writing a good story, writing a good book. So what this does is it makes it a little bit more fun, and it also gives us a goal to shoot for. As humans, we all need that extra little push. We need that motivation. We need something to, a finish line to get to. Sometimes we think that, well, if we're just inspired, we're going to finish the novel, we're going to work on it. And sometimes inspiration just isn't enough, or sometimes inspiration just dries up, right? You don't have the inspiration, you're tired, something else happens, you're not really inspired to write. But if you set a challenge, if you set a goal, then you're going to work towards that goal because it is that external, right? There's also some accountability, maybe, that you're going to do certain things by a certain time. You might tell someone that you're going to finish it within a certain amount of time, but if you set that challenge, the accountability up, you're more likely to really work on it to complete it and not to fail. So this is what a challenge is, okay? So again, it's not an outside thing. It's something that you have for yourself. You challenge yourself to do. And it creates that motivation, it creates that opportunity to really focus and work on your novel, and it can get you out of a creative slump if you happen to be in one. So let's talk more specifically then. Hopefully I've convinced you that it's kind of a good idea and fun to challenge yourself to create a goal. And especially now that we're just starting the summer, you might set yourself a summer goal, right? A summer challenge. So let's talk about the type of challenges that you might do. Again, I find that if I give myself these short-term goals. I have the longer term goal of writing the novel, but if I just give myself these shorter goals, then I fight to accomplish those goals rather than being overwhelmed by the larger goal of finishing the novel. So the first type of challenge might be what I call daily prompts. So these are great if you're not currently working on something. So if you just want to keep your creativity and your writing muscles active, then you create these little daily writing challenges for yourself. So you give yourself a short prompt, write a scene about meeting a stranger and that you suddenly go on an adventure with, right? So just any kind of prompt. You can look these up online. You can find writing prompts, but you do one a day, and that again just keeps you, it's a challenge to try to get some writing done every single day. Okay, the second kind of challenge would be if you're already working on something. So you've already started a book and you want to make sure that you're getting it done. So you can challenge yourself to either do a word count, 500 words, 10,000 words, whatever it is that you think you can get done. But you set that goal so that every day you're getting that done. Another thing that you can do, I tend to do a lot, is timed goals. So I know that I have an hour a day, or I have 3 hours a day, or whatever I might have. And I challenge myself that during that time period, that's going to be my writing time, and I'm going to write during that time. So I would say that most successful writers, most best-selling authors do this. They set either a word count goal or they set a time goal, and they accomplish this every day. They don't stop writing until they finish either the time that they set or the word count goal. And this is really great, especially if you have other obligations. So you have a full-time job, or you have something else that you need to accomplish. So setting aside this period where you can work is really great, and it's a good challenge for yourself. Another really fun challenge is to enter contests. So if you've never entered a writing contest, it's a fun thing to do. So there are different types of contests. Some contests focus on the opening of your story, like write the first 3 pages and have a really great opening hook, or some of them might be like first chapters, or there's different types of writing contests. Some of them are entire books. But at the beginning of my writing career, I used to enter quite a few of these because it challenged me to get my work done. And there was a prize at the end. So sometimes it was, you can, your story will get sent to an editor and an agent, or sometimes there were other little prizes. You just win a little trophy for first, second, third place. So that didn't really matter. What really mattered was that you either get noticed by an editor or an agent. That is good. You can also, if you win one of these contests, have it in your resume that you entered this contest and you won first place, or whatever. So it becomes really a really fun challenge, because you're trying to win something, and at the same time you're actually completing your story. And then the last one is the timed event, like NaNoWriMo. I know that is no longer available as of this year, but that has been super popular, and people entered it every year to try to win. And that is a time. So you have to write a novel of a certain number of words by a time. And you can enter things like that because, again, it's kind of fun. There's a lot of other people doing it. So it builds that excitement of you're not writing all by yourself. You're actually writing with other people. And so entering events like that are fun challenges, and again, it encourages you to get your writing done. And it's wonderful because you will see the progress of your work that'll get you inspired to continue to write even after the challenge is over. It can stretch your creativity. So there are a lot of benefits to have in doing these type of challenges, whether it's just a personal daily writing challenge or whether it's something with other people, other groups, and entering contests, things like that. Okay, so you might be saying, okay, well, this is a good idea. I can challenge myself to do something, but how is this, really going to help me move forward with my writing career? Well, I'll share a little short story with you. So there was this writer, his name is Hugh Howey, and he wrote a story titled Wool. And he began writing just these short stories. So he would challenge himself to write short stories as he worked his day job, and just to kind of keep consistent with his writing. He shared it online with readers, and it actually ended up going viral. And eventually it turned into a best-selling series that was noticed and purchased by a major publisher, and eventually it was even optioned as a film. I don't know if it ever became a movie, but that's great, right? From just your daily habit of writing daily and challenging yourself to get a short story done every single day, posting it somewhere so that people can enjoy it and read it and you can get feedback, to an actual book and possible film. So that's pretty cool, I think. And so you can even do this challenge for a short amount of time, right? So you can say, okay, I'm going to go challenge myself to write every single day for a month or for the summer. So you can try it by little pieces. It doesn't have to be like this forever challenge. I'm going to challenge myself to do this for the rest of my life. Just for a short period of time is good. And what it's going to do is it's going to force you to sit at your computer every day and face that blank page. It's going to help you to practice and build momentum. It's going to silence that inner critic that you have that tells you that you're not a writer, that you can't write anything, or that you can't finish anything. And you might even discover, if you're doing like daily prompts of different things, you might discover a new genre, a new way of writing that you didn't think you liked, or that you didn't think was your thing. And you might find that, yeah, actually, I do like writing thrillers. I really do like writing fantasy or whatever else, something different that you normally don't write. So the magic, hopefully you can see here, is not just the challenge itself, but it is you growing as a writer, you showing up and proving to yourself that you're a writer that actually shows up and does the work. So I'm actually finished with my previous novel. I did the marketing for it and the promotion for Christmas Without You. It's now summer. Christmas is over. The beginning of the year, I had a novel that I had been working on before. I finished it, submitted to a publisher. I'm kind of now in between stories. I am waiting to hear from that publisher to see what happens with that story, but I haven't started anything new. So I am going to challenge myself to begin a new story this summer. And so I'm hoping that you want to join a writing challenge with me. So it doesn't have to be, it's not going to be a NaNoWriMo. I'm not keeping track of anything, but we can do it here on YouTube. You can tell me what you're going to be writing on. We can leave comments, encourage each other, state what it is that we're writing, how much writing we're doing, what kind of challenge we're doing. I just think it would be fun. If you'd like to join me this summer, we'll go from now. Now, during the summer, I am usually doing other writing related things. So even though I'm not currently writing, I'm going to writers' conferences. I'm going to be going to one in Canada here, not too in just a few weeks. Probably when this video posts, I'll probably be in Canada. So let's give ourselves like 2 months. So between July and August. So by the end of August, we'll give ourselves a couple of months to do our challenge of whatever you choose, right? If you're choosing to write your every single day, if you're choosing the writer's prompt, you're choosing to write the novel that you're already working on. Whatever the challenge is, write it down in the comments, and we will support each other. We'll just kind of check in whenever we feel like it and say how we're doing. I just think it'll be kind of fun. So if you're willing to join me, let's go ahead and do a summer writing challenge together. And hopefully by the end of August, we all have something that we've written that has been fun, that we've been motivated enough to continue afterwards. All right, thank you for joining me. And if you want to join in the summer writing challenge fun, then let's do it. And I'll see you again next week with a different video.